Well, welcome to this InterAcct software video demonstration. In this session what we're going to be looking at is the InterAcct debtors system, and this is a main menu you're looking at the moment. The debtors of course is related to our business names database, so I'm going to go into menu number 2 there. It comes up with our search screen. I'm just going to search on a company called Corporate Enterprises. Just type in COR, press enter. Here's that little search done, and this is a little sample data I've set up to show you. So what we're looking at here is the kind of a header screen that heads up all the information relating to one customer or client or debtor, whatever you like to look at it. And here we've got a main contact name, some main phone numbers, a street address. I'm also seeing here what balance they owe us at this stage. You might see that there's a balance of 14,000, some part of that 3,000 odd is overdue. At the next menu there's all sorts of information, including extra contact names and site addresses and whatnot. But down here, this little bank of menus 13 through to 19 are all relating to the debtors area, but these menus are all contained under number 13. So I'm going to go into debtors totals, number 13, and here we are. This is sort of a debtors reconciliation screen. You can see it's called that at the top, and at first it's showing all the grand totals right from the start in terms of the opening balances, what's been invoiced from jobs or products and services, progress claims, and it's showing you the total sales revenue. Now this is broken down further under a lower menu, menu number 12 here, sales profit analysis. Okay, we've also got cash receipts, debtors adjustments, and any check refunds to the debtor with a resulting balance due. Now we can drill down on that particular balance due in the debtors ledger, menu number 3 there, and we'll do that in a moment. We've also got gross profit information. Once again, that's also broken down by month under the sales profit analysis, menu 12. Credit limit information. Look, I'll show you where that gets set up. It's under the setup debtors information, menu number 1. This is generally controlled, the screen or the access to the screen, by security, so you can only have accounting folk get into here, where you can set a credit limit, set payment terms, price levels, discounts that they might get, prompt payment discounts, all these sort of things. If you have the sales order distribution system, there might also be menus here getting into the multi-level product pricing for this customer. Well, I'll go back one step, just use the escape button or the go back button here. And here we are back at the debtors reconciliation screen. Menu number 2 is where you put in your initial opening balances, which of course are open item. We can actually go and view this breakdown of this amount that's owed in terms of the debtors ledger. Let's just go on that, number 3. It comes up automatically with a search screen again. We can search on invoices that might have a balance outstanding or old ones. Just press start search to give you the lot. You see it's given us the same familiar reconciliation of invoice number, date, what the original invoice value was, receipts against those invoices, debtors adjustments, and then a balance outstanding. Here's the expected payment date, which is used for cash flow forecasting purposes, when we last received receipts, and also how many days credit they took to pay each invoice is calculated. There are links back to the job. You can see the job number in some of these invoices, so at the next menu you can link into the job or indeed link into the original source transaction of the invoice. Let's go back again one step, back to this familiar menu. You're probably wondering what the difference is with the debtors ledger versus the transaction history. Well, the transaction history actually shows every movement on every invoice. That is to say, you might have an invoice, the invoiced on one date, but then they might make several payments and several adjustments, and it will actually show those transaction movements day by day. And the reason why we have that transaction history is that the system offers us reporting on debtors as at any prior date. So today's date happens to be the 21st of March. If we wanted to run a report, let's say, nominating 28th of February, the system will use this transaction history file to work back to what that position was showing as at that prior date. So it's quite a useful facility. Moving on down this menu, account details, contact details is when you run the credit control report, you want to know who out of all the contacts for this company should be contacted in terms of debt collection, and that's what that's about. Next menu, debtors aged analysis. When you run the aged analysis, now you can run the aged analysis every day if you wish, as many times as you like. Just nominate the date you want it aged at. You can elect also to save back the aging to the customer file automatically. So then, most importantly, you can see the trends. This one's listed in reverse date sequence, so the most recent one's at the top, as you'd expect. But you could keep many years here if you wanted to, and you can see, okay, are they owing us more and more, as the case is here? Is it getting older and older, the debt? And then it's actually showing you what portion of this debt is overdue, and overdue by how many days. So it's a really neat reconciliation of this debtor, and gives you a very good indication of whether are they going to be a bad debt someday. So, and that's in fact what you might want to be doing here, recording debt collection actions under menu number 7. And this is where the customer has made a commitment to you when they're going to pay, and you can record this commitment and the date where you expect the money. That will update the centralised alert diary system right back at the main menu, so you can go in and see, okay, who's made a commitment that's due to be paid today. I won't cover all the menus here because they don't relate to debt collection and debtors so much, like delivery site addresses. One customer can have any number of site addresses where you might want to have job history and that sort of stuff, purchase history, what products they've purchased. Okay, there's a whole lot of information on product pricing. Again, it only relates to the distribution system, and this particular system has not been set up for this one. We haven't clicked those modules on. You can link into invoicing area directly from here. I'm not going to cover so much. Oh, product. Let's have a look at the sales profit analysis. It kits it automatically. You don't have to do anything here to get it, and it will show you the sales and profit by month and the profit margin. So you can just basically see where they've stopped, where they're buying, and how much money you're making from them. And you can actually go down into product purchase history as well, where you actually see what products they're buying and what price they paid and what they bought. Again, there's a link between this file of what products they've bought. That might even be in relation to what products have been issued to a job that they've done, if that's applicable. Okay, I'll just go back one step. There's a sales budget area. You can create a sales budget by client, by month, by product, if that's applicable to your business. There are links back into the jobs and work in progress area where you can see deposits held, progress claims that are made and not yet invoiced, retentions held by due date, service costs that need to be invoiced from prior jobs that need to be recovered, a document register where you can have photos and Word documents and PDFs and drawings in relation to this customer, bank guarantees that they may have given in relation to jobs. So some of these are job related, so if you don't have the job costing module you won't see all these menus, of course. And then there are sales and marketing related menus, which are the subject of other videos, even right down to serial numbers sold, which are to do with the typically service maintenance system. But I want to go into menu number 29, Debtors Reports menu. And here is where you can go and nominate the date in which you want to run your report at. Let's just say it's going to be on the 21st. I'll just put in 21 here, press enter. And you can go on and produce a statement or a debtors reconciliation report as of that particular date. And you can see here this is a reconciliation report that shows the unpaid invoices and what's being paid. It's all sorted by invoice, as you can see here. And just taking this invoice 166, you can see that was the original value. There's been an adjustment, there's been a receipt, and they still owe $5,750. Down the bottom here we're showing the overdue and current portions and the total balance, and it's in the form of a remittance advice again, so they can cut and paste and send the money back. We'll do a direct payment hopefully. Alright, so I'll just come out of that. The statement is a similar sort of layout. Let me just show you the statement. A bit simpler, just showing you the total by invoice, the balance outstanding, again broken up in terms of overdue and current. But it's quite clear, the reconciliation. We're giving the customer a very simple way of actually reconciling what they should pay. Now there are some other reports, and they're under the debtors reporting menu. I just wanted to show you one of those, and one that I really like, which is the, once again I might just change this date, 21st. I wanted to show you this credit control report. This to me is the ultimate. This one here is, that's Pearl Property, another customer. I'll just go to the next page. This is corporate enterprises that we're looking at. This is like on one page a complete snapshot of everything you need to know to make a phone call or send an email, and contact Ken Carruthers is our contact name for corporate enterprises. There's their phone number and mobile, credit limit, payment terms. Here's the aged invoice analysis, so you can see what's been invoiced, that again, that reconciliation, how many days overdue that each invoice is, the customer's own reference number that they quoted when they might be the customer's purchase order number here, who ordered the goods that were invoiced. This is the client's contact, and what was the invoice all about. And then down through here we're getting this aging analysis, so we can age the actual balance that it currently is, and we can also age the overdue portion of the balance. You can see it 97 days overdue, quite bad, and you can see the months here. And then this is the last 3 entries we've taken from the historical aging analysis, so we can see what they've come from to get to this point. And we've got those payment commitments as well, the previous payment commitments. So it's a great way of actually having all the information at your fingertips to be able to call the debtor. I'll just go back to the main menu.